What I found in traveling literally back and forth across the country, up and down, everywhere from Alaska to Florida to New England down to Arizona, New Mexico, everybody is going through the same thing. When I say that, we've all been asked to do more with less. In some cases, we've been asked to do more with nothing. But unfortunately, what happens is municipalities, communities, counties don't want to turn around and restaff construction departments where they had a reduction in force for fear that this may be a bubble, this may not be sustainable. So what happens is we're taking in permits, we're collecting the revenue, yet we don't have the support staff to make the inspections. So then what happens? Complaints come in because you're not doing your job. Well, you can't do the job if you don't have the staffing, the manpower, and the support to do that. The problem that we have system-wide is that by and large code officials don't get the recognition. And I don't mean, the banner waving and the flags. What I'm talking about is the fact that when we do our job, nothing happens, okay? Buildings don't fall down. Buildings don't catch fire because of what we do. So here's what happens is most code officials like to go on, do their job, stay out of the limelight, focus on what's expected of them. But we need to promote what we do because what we do matters. Over the years, the members were very clear, whether it was the Task Force on Hearings or CADRAC, the Code Development Ad Hoc Review Committee, the message was very clear. Members wanted to be able to participate remotely. The board took that to heart. We went through and found a way to make it happen. Look, I can tell you, having sat through years and years of code development hearings, it's probably some of the most boring things you will ever sit through, but it's also by far one of the best educational opportunities you will ever have. Because I look at it this way, as a code official, my job isn't to sit there and say, well, the book says this. My job is to go out and say to the individual that I'm inspecting, this is why you do something. This is why these changes were made. And the code change process allows you the opportunity to do that. The other thing you have to take into consideration is we all understand, I deal with it, I work for 2 communities. Budgets are tight, time out of the office is critical. So to turn around and say you're going to spend 6, 8, 10 days in a code development hearing when you're a one-man shop is not realistic. The issue that we have, though, CDP Access now allows any member the opportunity to participate in the code development hearings from their desk, from their laptop, sitting on the beach. It doesn't matter. If you can get access to the internet, you can participate in the code development hearings. The responses we've gotten from the members for the rollout for the C-cycle have been extremely positive. We're very, very happy. Listen, it didn't come out without some glitches, but those were things that we were able to address as we move along, and as we go to the A-cycle now and roll out CDP Access for the A-cycle, I expect to see a number of enhancements come out. The online collaboration, the remote voting, the ability to view the testimony, the ability to change your vote. Okay? These are all things that the membership has asked for. These are all things that we've been able to accomplish. And I think CDP Access is a huge opportunity for us. The only thing that's limiting it is the people's interest or understanding that it's out there. And that's where we have to continue to promote what we do so they understand that their voice counts. As a board member, you move further away from the code development side and more into the business model side. And that's probably one of the toughest things you have to get used to when you become a board member, is not giving up what you're used to doing, but understanding that you've got a different set of responsibilities, that you're now in charge of a corporation. If somebody wants to run for board service, be prepared. It's an awful lot of work. You have to know what you're talking about, and it's not necessarily based on codes. It's based on being able to handle the business aspect of an association. And that's a big adjustment for a lot of people. I think one of the greatest things that you take away from being a board member is knowing that you are welcomed across the country wherever you go, and knowing that if I needed to pick up the phone and call somebody in Arizona or Alaska or Connecticut or Florida, I know that I can get somebody on the phone and I would be able to make a contact if I needed something. That's huge. You don't realize, we have 50,000 plus members. but we're an awfully small organization, and when I say small, it's a family. I see us continuing to grow at a steady pace, but I also am aware of the fact that we have to be careful not to let the proverbial reach exceed the grasp. We do the best codes that are out there. We produce documents, we produce information, we have the technical expertise to remain number one in the field, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. What we need to make sure of is that we focus on what we do best, and that's code development, and not get bogged down or distracted by doing things that take us away from our focus, our members, the ability to develop codes, and getting the best and highest information out there that our members need to perform their jobs and keep the people safe.